I like what they did here. Very rugged, kind of boxy. You remember the Passport name. This is the 2026 Honda Passport that I'm in. Redesigned and aimed at some direct competitors. And I'm just gonna name the main one that I think of, and that's the Toyota 4Runner. These two vehicles are in that same realm, but I think Honda did something here that answers a call that a lot of people have been having. See, as we progress with vehicles and I read about them and I talk about them, I know that there is a subset of people that feel like the push for technology inside of cars has gotten too much. Now, I run in this funny place because I have worked and work inside of the tech world. So I like technology. I like new things. I like AI. I like the things that make life easier for what we're doing. So I run in this weird space. I like the introduction of technology. I'm not a person that only wants things to be what they were in the early 2000s when it comes to vehicles. However, I can appreciate the simplicity of that era. And I do think that there is a better balance, right? Some of the things that we introduce into these vehicles mess up that balance. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because of the motor that Honda chose for this vehicle. It is a 285 horsepower, naturally aspirated V6 with a 10-speed automatic. Basic, right? There's no hybrid, there's no turbo, there's no twin turbo V6. There's nothing that is unknown. Like when you hear that, you're like, man, that kind of sounds like something they've done in the past. And I think that maybe they didn't talk to the people, maybe they already had that in play. But the idea of something that isn't a hybrid platform or something that is brand new like they've done with some of their competitors and the growing pains that come with that, I think you get a lot of people that start showing up and saying that's all I wanted when it came to a mechanical standpoint. I don't think anybody doesn't want technology, and this has plenty of it. You get wireless Android Auto, you get wireless CarPlay, a nice, clean, clear 12-inch display in the front, and yes, it's another screen that's slapped onto the dashboard. I mean, that's going to be my critique until we start integrating them better into the design of it. And that's one thing I can give about the cars from the past. The cars from the past integrated the interiors just better, in my opinion. We now have to have the screen, and everybody is expecting that because they use it for mirroring their phone and trying to find out where things are at or how to navigate to things. And I appreciate that. And I don't want to get rid of that. I just want it to flow into the dashboard a little bit better. But getting away from that, how does this thing drive? Personally, when I saw what they did for the Passport, and this is not the highest trim, we are in the RTL, the highest trim is the Trail Sport. I like this trim. I like reviewing the trims that a majority of people are gonna buy as opposed to me getting the highest one. I do like the highest one, who doesn't enjoy that? But there is something to say about the trim that most people are gonna get. This starts at around $44,000. If you want to get the towing package like this has, you're getting up to like $45,000, and it will tow this much as far as the weight goes. Now, the interesting thing is the simplicity of the drivetrain, the fact that it wasn't a brand new motor, so to speak, that was a complicated system that they had to go through growing pains. I like the fact that it was just a V6 with 285 horsepower, which sounds low, but it's not low. That's almost 300. That's more than enough. And you have a good amount of torque on this SUV. So for me, it was answering everything that most people would look for. Do I have good power? Do I have good performance? Does it get good efficiency? Yes, it's decent. 19 miles in the city, 25 miles on a highway. That is what you would expect. Now that's the caveat, right? You want a V6 motor that's simple, that gives you good power and gives you good torque. You're not gonna get the highest amount of gas mileage, because the way you do that, you gotta throw some hybrids in there. We gotta possibly throw some turbos in there as well to try to make things more efficient. Usually means we're dropping down the engine to a smaller size. So no, it's not a 4-cylinder. It gets out of its way appropriately. If you hit the gas trying to merge, it's proper Honda as far as the quality goes. I mean, we know what they do. There's no surprise here when somebody gets inside of a Honda and they're like, hey man, guess what? That was really high quality. That's what we expect. So the drive, how does it feel when you're driving this? Well, I can tell you with confidence that it drives excellent. The 10-speed automatic shifts smoothly. It shifts quickly. When you press on the gas, nice surge of power. The transmission isn't jerky. I'm not feeling like it's rushing or doing anything like that. it performs well and it delivers the power and the performance the way I would expect it to be when I'm thinking about a Honda V6. But the Passport isn't just about the motor and isn't just about the way it feels, it's also about how comfortable it is when you're driving. At my seating position, I'm comfortable. I'm nice space around the seat. I got nice AC controls. There are heated seats if you're in a cold climate. And the visibility outside of the front windshield is clear and you sit at a nice height. And that's why people like SUVs. They want to be able to see out of the front and not feel like they don't want to feel like they're too low. They want to feel like they can kind of see clearly and they can see ahead of them. If there's one thing to know, we know what Honda has been known for, right? They are known for reliability of their motor. They're known for the performance of their engine, the smoothness, the way the transmission feels, and all of that's at play here. And that is what drives people to want to experience and have these type of cars. They want it to feel like something that they're used to. And that's where I think on paper, this becomes one of the best contenders for an SUV that is made for a family or just made for a person. It doesn't have to, you don't have to have a family. This is a 5-passenger vehicle. It's not something extra big. The size of it isn't too much, and it isn't like a third row where you have all these extra accoutrements and features that you're just like, I don't need that. Quiet. It's comfortable. Not saying quiet and comfortable. It's like as if any new car these days is loud inside, unless you're talking about like a sports car. And then I want to hear it. I want to hear the loudness, but any car that's aimed at daily commuters and aimed at people and families, it's all good. And Honda doesn't make a bad car. I don't even have to prove that to you. We already know their history. They make great vehicles. This is another one of those. I like what they did here. Very rugged, kind of boxy. The way it looks right here, the headlights, the front area, the front grille. If you remember the old one from years past, this kind of follows that lineage. And I appreciate that style of it. I like the wheels. They're kind of like this blackish chrome look of it, kind of painted, but nice sized tires because it's aimed at the off-road. Now I didn't get to off-road it, but it does have the drive mode so that you could do for mud, sand, snow, and towing if you need to pull up to 5,000 pounds. So it has all the utility you're looking for, and it looks the part. It doesn't look bad. I appreciate how they designed this and how everything looks and how it performs. And I think they did a good job of making sure that it goes back to that lineage of the Passport, but it also offers something new and fresh. And it gives people that kind of strong front end. The front grille up here that kind of lets air go in. There at the bottom where you see like the parking sensors and more of the sensors for like the safety features that come in all these vehicles these days, blind spot monitoring, radar, cruise control. But it's clean. The LED strip that goes around the headlights, very nice. I appreciate how that looks in the daytime when it's driving. And everything has a nice flow to it. It is boxy, but the way it flows up here and come to the back with the roof rails and this black part that kind of comes to this rear window, to me, it reminds me of kind of like the designs of the past where things had like kind of sharp lines where it's not just kind of a bulbous egg on wheels, as I said before. I like it. And I think they did a great job. Now, I did speak about the modes when it comes to off-roading, but there is some modes when it comes to just driving normally. There is a sport mode and there is paddle shifters on the steering wheel. And honestly, the paddle shifters now aren't even like a feature that only comes on like a sports car. This is pretty common on almost every vehicle now, but it isn't bad. And I understand there is a place for it. If you have ever wondered and you've seen these SUVs and you hear about a sport mode, and you might scratch your head and be like, why does there need to be a sport mode and who's using sport mode and for what reason? It's not that it's a gimmick. The thing about the sport mode, especially if I'm doing the paddle shifters, if I drop a gear, it'll at least hold the gear so that I can be in the power band I want to be. That's usually where I see the most benefit when it comes to sport mode in a vehicle that isn't really considered like a sports type of car. It is the ability to hold the gear at a certain space and get into the power range that you want to get into and keep it there. And also there's eco mode if you want to make sure that you're getting the most gas mileage, that you're getting up to that 19 miles per gallon, that you're getting up to that 25 miles per gallon. That is where that eco mode comes in. Normal mode being kind of a mix between both. Here's the power, here's the efficiency, and probably where almost 99% of people are going to rest the vehicle in these drive modes, but it's there if you need it. The wheels are nice, large size tires that are aimed at kind of like that off-road life. But because if you're like me where you don't really tackle trails, tackling the streets of Houston is trails. We got potholes, dips and curbs and all types of things where, listen, there are reasons why people buy trucks in Texas and SUVs, because sometimes, outside of the fact that inevitably it will flood wherever you live, that we got to deal with certain roads that are rough. And as I've been driving it around, I've noticed that me going over certain rough patches and rough roads is smooth and composed. At no point I feel like it's jerky or anything like that. The steering is light because it's an SUV. I mean, it's assisted, it's power assisted, and it's not gonna give you the most feedback. I don't feel like I can necessarily feel feedback, but I also didn't come into this expecting to feel the feedback. What I really wanted to see is, hey, if I press on the gas like I'm doing here, can it merge into the traffic well? Does the power come on smooth? Does it shift well? And it does. And you can kind of hear that nice like V6 growl in there because Honda makes a good sounding engine. So the power is there and it's smooth and it handles bumps well and it performs great and it has the driving capability that if I change lanes, I'm not feeling like it's wandering over the road. I don't feel like I can't, make a fast maneuver if I need to. It does exactly what I expect it to do. I think you would feel the same way too, especially when you go and drive it. Gotta get behind the wheel of one of these. The one thing I can say about this interior is that what can I say? I can say it's clever. And the reason why I say clever and I use that word is because the features that they put inside of here, as far as utility goes and as far as what's inside and what you can have for storage, it's really smart. And I want to show you the true test, getting inside where my driving seat is. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually impressed by how much space is back here, because my large frame, usually if I get back somewhere, I'm always having to tell the camera and tell y'all, like, listen, don't take this as a thing saying that it can't fit people, because I'm an abnormally sized human being. So for that reason, when I come back here and I check where my driving seat is and where I'm at, I'm really comfortable. Now I do wish that there was some type of there is a grab handle up here. But I do think in SUVs, there needs to be something on the B pillar. Like you need to have something you can grab here and kind of twist your way out the vehicle as well. But overall though, it's good. We have nice heating AC controls right here in the rear. There are USB-C chargers back here. I do wish the headliner was blacked out, and it may be in other trims that I don't have. I have the RTL trim, but maybe on the Trail Sport one, it kind of blackens out the headliner. And the reason why I like that is because it does kind of make it feel a little smaller inside because you have black all the way to the top, but I kind of like the aesthetic of it as well. And this is a nice black leather interior with nice like kind of grayish stitching inside of it. And there are other color trims that you get in there as well. But as far as sitting back here, we got pockets back here as far as to store something, as you can see right there. That seems like a small thing, but I got a car that doesn't have it. So whenever you need something like that, it's good to have it. So the overall back seat is good. And because if you're trying to put somebody like a child back here, your friends are driving with you, it's nice space. Everybody has ample headroom. At no point do I feel like my head is even close to the ceiling. They can fit in here. And even too, if you look, let me bring you closer. Even with this armrest down, as you can see, and you might not be able to see this, let me take y'all for a little journey. Even with me sitting here with this armrest down, I have another set of cup holders. And when I was talking about the interior being clever as far as the storage, the door card is what I'm talking about. So if you see back here, we have not only the cup holders and another like drink holder, but another like cubby to hold something there for you in the back. You have tweeters back there for the speakers and the speakers in the door card, but also this pocket right here too. So we have a pocket, we have AC vent, we have a charger, and if you do have an LED light back here that you can control and turn on and off in case you need to see something or need a map light in the rear. So it does give you nice convenience as far as how everything functions back here. So I do like that, and it's comfortable. So at no point, nobody's gonna get back here and feel like, oh, I'm too tight, it's too claustrophobic. So yes, you can fit 3 kids back here, you can fit 3 adults back here. No, it doesn't have a third row, and I don't think you need a third row in every single application of an SUV. Some are just too tight to even be considered real third rows. And if you don't have a family of that size, this answers that question for you. Let me bring you in. The driver's seat is what I care about. So we have power driving seats. We have 10-way power from the front, and we got another power for the passenger. That's nice, that is convenient as well. I do like the fact that there are memory seats because I'm a person whose wife is much smaller than me. So if I get into the car that she was driving, I'm in the dashboard. And then if she gets in the car, she's in the back seat because I'm driving, I got long legs. So memory seats is very nice to have, and it's included in this package. The interior I talked about before when it comes to the infotainment system, the 12-inch screen, the digital dash, the digital gauge cluster, the wireless charger, the drive mode, USB-C chargers. It is ample convenience. One of the other cool things is the fact that there are storage compartments everywhere inside of here. Let me show you. Outside of the fact that we got a giant storage here in the center where you can put any number of things in there, especially coins and stuff like that. Right here inside of the dashboard, this little cubby right here to kind of hold things that you might need right there. Down here where the wireless charger is another storage point right here as well. Down here you can put something next to the charger, and the cup holders as well. If you look at the front, not only do we have something for a cup or a glass, but we have something for more space there as well. And you have a pocket down there at the bottom. And then on top of that, we have what you can expect, the glove compartment as well when it comes to the storage of it. You have the normal pockets for the sunglasses as well. We have things for the visors. You can see them down here for the lights and the mirrors that you can see. I do like the fact that they have this like nice stitching that goes across the dashboard that you can see all the way across to the driver's side, and also matching inside of the stitching inside the steering wheel with the controls, where you can see the paddle shifters they have there too, and everything is nice and clear. And the AC controls are nice as they were in other Hondas. Nice feedback and clicking sound and physical controls. Not necessarily capacitive screen, which can be good on a lot of other cars, but sometimes it's just nice to have a knob that you can just turn and get to what you need to. But besides me sitting in the driver's seat and the passenger seat, if I'm gonna have one of these, I'm gonna throw something in the back. So what's the trunk look like? So all this talk about utility, the question is, how is the trunk, right? There is no third row, so you get ample amount of space. I mean, you can see from here all the way to the front, and even when you try to put these seats down, because it's 60-40 split, you can fit anything that you might need. Even pieces of wood from Home Depot, or I don't know, maybe, can you fit a kayak? I don't know, maybe on the roof. You got the roof rails, you got the roof rack to really kind of haul some really big stuff up there. But as far as just putting groceries back here, putting a stroller, putting your dog, putting bags, putting anything that you might need on daily life, this has plenty of space. It has a really cool feature too. Let me show you this real quick. So one of the cool things that I discovered when I was messing around with the back of this is that on this side of the trunk space, you see how this rubber mat that they give you that says Passport out in the front, very nice, very good to have, especially if you drop something that's liquid, is that on this side it's kind of split because there is a hidden compartment right under here that opens as this little flap of this door and offers you all the storage underneath. Let me tell you something. Because of the fact that whenever you have something in the car and you're worried about people looking inside and breaking into it, this is perfect, especially if you got a bag or something you don't feel like taking with you. Close it up, none the wiser. Somebody's gonna say, well, CarQuicks, thanks for telling the criminals where we have the little storage thing in the back. I'm sorry, okay? But listen, I'm trying to show you what features you have in the Passport if you're considering one. Outside of all of that, there's more to this than just that. We got cubbies over here in the side. You look over here, 12-volt charger right here. This cubby back here, perfect for like a bottle of water, the little gallon of water, a gallon of milk, something right here is going to sit right there, especially if you have stuff to take with you. If you got to bring things like a portable charger, portable air inflator, things like that, all fits right there. More storage and cubby up here, and you can get an optional cover that covers over this entire thing and kind of offers you like a bed of space to put on top of here as well. So you got more storage there, but it doesn't end there, because usually, I'm going to move my bags out the way real quick. The other convenient thing to know, let me throw my bags over here on the other side so I can show you completely what I'm going to talk about. We do have a spare tire. Now, normally you try to see spare tires kind of mounted underneath the car or on the back of the hatch. This one is kind of like a donut, but it is sitting here inside, and you do get this cool little feature where you see like mountains in the back on like a road where the spare tire is. So it does come with a spare tire. It also has conveniently a little funnel inside where you can fill up things like, I don't know, windshield washer fluid, or maybe you got to put more oil or something, or maybe something in the gas tank, but you get a little funnel inside of the vehicle in the back. That's a nice little thing to have, because whenever you got to fill something up that involves a liquid, guess what you never have on you is a funnel. And that's cool to have there. So storage space, spare tire as well, ample storage. Also, this little cover, it has locks into place. So you got all the things you need. So we got the interior, we see the storage, and everything feels great. And I like what they have done here. What's my overall thoughts? all of that driving around and playing around with the interior and the features all day. What do I think? Do I like it? I like it. Not just because they let me drive it, but if you're thinking about an SUV in this category, competitors being like the new Jeep Cherokee, the Toyota 4Runner, that's what this is going to start competing with. But Honda did something really smart. One, they answered a call for people that wanted something easy to maintain. V6, 285 horsepower, no extra doodads, just naturally aspirated Honda quality 10-speed automatic. That's a great combination. And it also answers for people that don't want to spend more money on something that has hybrid and turbo platforms and anything like that. And so for that, they answered that call perfectly. I think it looks good. Yes, it's boxy. Yes, it has a very rugged look, but that's the whole point. The Passport has always been the rugged SUV. Passport always felt like a passport to go somewhere. Like, as you take the term passport, go somewhere, leave the country, leave your neighborhood, take a trail, take a detour. That's what this feels like. That's what it looks like. I like the vents. I like the headlights. I like the grills. I like the wheels. And the utility is great, from the storage you have inside, from the storage you have in the front, from the technology you have, the wireless CarPlay, the Android Auto. I think they did a great job. And this is a trim that's right in the middle, right in that little sweet spot of, do you need something that's high to trail sport? Do you want something that is bottom at the base? Or do you want something that falls right into the middle? And for this, I think they delivered that. So if you're ever thinking about something that is an SUV, maybe you need it for your family, maybe you need it just for yourself. You don't want something that is electric. You don't want something that's hybrid. You want something that is just comfortable and familiar. I think Honda did that. Come check out the Passport. And so like and subscribe to the channel, especially if you want to see more about other cars, not just SUVs, cars, eventually sports cars and other things like that. Follow the channel. I'll see y'all around. Peace. Now, one other thing before I get out of here. Special thanks to Katy of Honda again for letting me drive the Passport, because they didn't have to. So I appreciate them giving me the time to bring this content to y'all, to bring y'all an experience of the Passport. If you've ever thought about it, if you ever thought about having one or driving one or just spending some time with it, come over to Katy Honda. They'll take care of you.